Attention to midfield. Tonight, the athletic department and the athletic booster club are honoring our graduating seniors. We are very proud of their accomplishments and appreciate their dedication. We also would like to thank the parents and guardians for allowing your children to participate in Griffin athletics. Let's introduce our seniors and their parents. Our first senior tonight on this football team, coached by Mr. Jason Battle, Isaiah Battle, son of Jeffrey Battle and Tabitha Jenkins. Our next senior, Mr. Omega Bobbitt, son of Sharon and Laquita Williams. Our next senior, Mr. Kobe Bunn, son of Leroy and Kim Bunn. Our next senior, Mr. Diego Cuffy Isla, son of Dennis Cuffy and Chantel Isla. Our next singer, Mr. McKinley Hines Williams, son of Michael and Carol Williams. Our next singer, Mr. Jonathan Jones, son of David and Lisa Jones. Our next singer, Mr. Xavier Lawrence, son of Michelle Lawrence. Our next singer is Mr. Isaiah Lee, son of Sharon Whitaker. Our next singer, Mr. Damian Lewis, son of Tanya Lewis. Our next singer, Mr. Caleb Mercer, son of Tiffany Mercer. Our next singer, Mr. Kerry Parker, son of Phil Evans and Vivian Parker. Our next singer is Mr. Christian Pounds, son of Mark Pounds. And our next singer, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Miles Powell, son of Keith Hendricks and Letitia Powell. Our next singer, Mr. Joshua Scott, son of Timothy Scott. next senior, Mr. Andrew Rollins, son of Scott and Shannon Rollins. And our next senior, Christopher Thompson, son of Ada Thompson. Our next senior, ladies and gentlemen, Darcadius Williams, son of Tamika Williams. Our next senior, Mr. Nazir Willoughby, son of Steve Willoughby and Shanette Champasani. And with our support staff, Miss Tyler Garcia, daughter of Kimberly White. Our next member of the support staff, Miss Zaria Hinton, daughter of Rod Reynolds and Katisha Hinton. And now our band, under the direction of Michael Jenkins. Our first band singer, Miss Janaya Battle, daughter of Terrence and Alyssa Woodard. Our next singer for the band, Mr. Ryan Dunstan, son of Debris Dunstan. Our next band singer, Zaire Lawrence Penn, son of Shanu Lawrence. And now our senior cheerleaders, coached by Ms. Shara Parrish and Ms. Courtney Hart Marshall. Our first senior, Ms. Zakaya Bentley, daughter of Marcus and Khadijah White. Our next senior cheerleader, Ms. Fabiola Fabian, daughter of Jose Fabian and Maria Placencia. Our next singer, Miss Nyla Gwynn, daughter of Tiffany Cooper. Our next senior cheerleader, Miss Carnasia Moore, daughter of Travis and Corinne Cooper. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly, but definitely not leastly, our last senior cheerleader, Miss Morgan Woodard, daughter of Anthony and Renee Woodard. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give our seniors another round of applause. Senior parents, we do appreciate you letting your young person participate in Gryphon Athletics for so many years. We greatly thank you on behalf of Michael Gaming and everyone here at Rockingham Senior High School. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gryphon Stadium on the campus of Rocky Mount High School for tonight's contest between your Northern Nash Knights and the Rocky Mount Gryphons. We've got a fun one for you tonight as the 4-1 Knights have come across town to the 5-1 conference champion Gryphons. Northern is hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive, and Rocky Mount is looking to keep their win streak, their 9-game win streak, that is, over the Knights alive, as well as a perfect season within the Class 3A Big East Conference. We promise this one's going to be a fun one, as Rocky Mountain Northern is one of the longest running and most heated rivalries in all of North Carolina. Usually it's highlighted on the basketball court, but this year it's highlighted on the football field. Each team kind of had disappointing basketball seasons, but it's been a fun football season for both these teams. Like we said, a lot on the line. Rocky Mount looking to maintain a full an undefeated conference season. Northern looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. And we promise this one will be a fun one.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Once again, we thank you for joining us on the Tar River Sports Network. I'm Chance Puckett, and I've got my broadcast partner, Jordan Hilliard, here with you. We're going to be talking you through tonight's contest between the Knights and Rocky Mount Gryphons. If you're a Northern fan, as I assume you are on this stream, you know that the Knights were in a COVID pause last week. What would have been a road game against the Fight Golden Demons on Thursday night before the holiday weekend turned into a non-game week for the Knights after a COVID pause, which could be detrimental. Had the Knights won that last week, tonight would be for the conference championship. Unfortunately, Northern's not in that position. The Griffons has already clinched it with last week's 28-26 win over the Southern Nash Firebirds. Last week was a fun one between the Griffons and Firebirds, close throughout the entirety of the game, all the way up to the end. The Griffons held Southern short on a 2-point attempt with 16 seconds to go, holding on to a win and clinching the conference championship. As you can see, here come the Rocky Mount Gryphons. They're dressed in their traditional navy blue from head to toe. Navy blue hats, navy blue tops, and navy blue breeches. The Knights on the far side of the field are wearing their all-white away uniforms. Green hats, white tops, and white breeches for the Knights. As each team prepares to take the field, it looks like the Griffons are going to be set to kick off. We'd like to thank tonight's main sponsor, the Nash County Farmers Market. The Nash County Farmers Market, now open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 1006 Peachtree Street in the Rocky Mount Historic District, featuring locally grown products from fruits and vegetable to pasture-raised meat and eggs, locally caught seafood, baked goods, vegetable and ornamental plants, specialty food, homemade soup, and handcrafted art. We'd like to thank all our sponsors. We'll be shouting out a couple more throughout this broadcast. As we said, the Griffons are set to kick off. Number 80, Andrew Rollins, going to handle the kicking duties for the Griffons. He was just honored on senior night. It is senior night here at Gryphon Stadium, and it is a picture-perfect night for football. Number 5, Jaden Freeman, is deep for the Knights. He's shown some explosive speed this year. And we are ready to go with Andrew Rollins on the kick. Rollins boots this one, and it's good over the head of Freeman. He'll let this one bounce into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Knights will take over 1st and 10. Jordan, you've played in this coveted rivalry quite a few times. What do you do to keep emotions in check over the course of a game like this?
Right here, you have to strictly play football. You cannot go on the emotional aspect of it, being though it is a rival game and it is a highly anticipated game, especially to be the last conference game of the season. You have to keep in mind that it's a football game.
Absolutely. Playing with playoff hopes on the line certainly adds a level of intensity to that. Ingle King will operate out of the gun for the Knights to start. That's how Northern does the majority of their work. Donovan Simpson lined up off his left hip. Ingle King uses the hard count to his advantage as the Griffons jump off sides. That's something Northern has done really well this year. Ingle King's a very disciplined player. He's done that a lot. That'll make it 1st and 5 from Northern from their own 25. Ingle King in the gun once again with Simpson off his left hip. He'll pull this one back, and he will throw it, intended for number 22, Sincere Battle, who drops that one. Northern's run that play a couple times, all slant routes from all 4 of their receivers to open up games. It worked against Southern Nash, and it worked against Franklinton. Griffons looked like they had that one schemed up and planned against. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Northern Nash offense. Ingle King will operate out of the gun once again. Simpson off his left hip. Whitaker out wide on the near side of the field. Looks to be Freeman out wide on the far side. Ingle King will pull this one back once again, and it's intercepted by number 20, Diego Cuffy Disla. Cuffy Disla's going to take this one all the way back to the end zone, 25 yards for a touchdown, Griffons. An awful start for the Northern Nash Knights, not what you could be hoping for. Griffons take an early 6-0 lead, and they'll send the kick team out to make it 7 7-0. 6-0 Griffons here early after a great interception return by Cuffy Disla. Cuffy Disla's a senior listed at 5'10", 160 pounds. Not the biggest guy on defense, but showing a lot of heart there, punching that one in early on the defensive side of the ball. Rollins will line up to kick. Good snap, good hold. It's up, looks to be good, and it is. Your score early in the first quarter, Rocky Mount 7, Northern Nash 7. Northern Nash 0, rather. Knights offense going to be coming out in just a minute to try and tie things up. Not the start you want if you are the Northern Nash Knights, but a perfect start if you're the Griffons. As you can see on our Girls Around Here scoreboard, Griffons currently up 7-0 over the visiting Knights. Girls Around Here, discover your new favorite pieces of clothing for women and men from Girls Around Here, located at 6163 Main Street in Bailey or online at girlsroundhere.com. Rollins set to kick off once again for the Griffons. He's had a lot of work so far. Knights offense and Griffon defense has run 2 plays, and Rollins has been out there for 3 early. Rollins has it teed up at the 40-yard line. He's set to kick once again. Freeman is back deep for the Knights. Rollins gets this one again off to the left. Bounces into the end zone once again. Northern will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Hoping for a little more offensive production on this one. Ingle King did throw an interception on that first drive, but Ingle King's been a star for the Knights this year. Definitely his breakout season. Last year he played some tight end and was Jay Johnson's backup. Johnson is now continuing his college career at Barton College over in Wilson. Their first ever season with a football program over in Wilson with the Barton Bulldogs. Ingle King in the gun, and for the first time tonight, Simpson lines up off his right hip. Knight's going to run it for the first time tonight. Simpson breaks off to the left. He's to the 20, just past the 30-yard line. Looks like it'll be enough for a first down. Simpson picks up about 10 yards. Let's see if they move the sticks, and they will. For the first time tonight, Northern picks up a first down. First and 10 for Northern. Ball placed on the 30-yard line. Knights' first down of the contest.
I think the scheme that Northern is going for is to open up Rocky Mount with a little bit of passing and then catch him falling asleep to hit the run in the inside.
Ingle King in the gun with Simpson off to his left. He will fake the handoff and throws this one. That one was intended for Jaden Freeman. Tried to high point the football. Nice effort by Freeman, but it's broken up. Cameron Jones in coverage for the Griffons. Nice coverage there by the Rocky Mount Jr. like you said, Northern trying to open up some pass plays. That way they can kind of break off a big run in the next couple plays. That's kind of working backwards. Typically, teams try to establish the run in order to open up the pass play. Northern started the year doing most of their work through on the ground, but as the season has gone on, they've moved to the air. Ingle King will go back to the air here. This one's over the middle. Sincere Battle breaks a couple of tacklers. He's still up 45-40. He's finally brought down at the 36-yard line. Nice gain on a slant route there by Sincere Battle. Battle's had a huge season as a slot receiver for the Knights. Northern breaks into Gryphon territory for the first time. It'll be first and 10 for Northern with the ball placed at the Rocky Mount 35-yard line. Knights driving, showing some offensive prowess here. Like we said, Northern has been operating out of the gun for the heavy majority of their season and has moved more towards a pass-first offense. That's something Northern really hasn't done in the past, especially under head coach Andrew Ferris. Looks to be what the future looks like here. Ingleking pumps fake. This one is fumbled. The ball is out. Not sure who's recovered it. Rocky Mount says they have it, and they do. Rocky Mount will take over first and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Not the start you want for Northern. Their offensive line couldn't quite hold the Griffons' defensive line. And to the Griffons' advantage, they're able to take over on a fumble. Rocky Mount's defense played well last week against the Southern Nash Firebirds. Their defensive line gave the Southern offensive line some fits there. And that's already showing early as the Griffons have forced 2 turnovers. And this will send their offense out for the first time all night. Stephon Jones may as the quarterbacking duties for the Griffons. He's a fantastic young sophomore who's a star on the basketball court as well. He'll pitch this one off to Hines. Hines has some open field on the left side. Hines is finally brought down at the 46-yard line. That'll be second and around 1 yard. Hines had 3 touchdowns in last week's contest over at Southern Nash High, and going into that contest, he had 456 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns, in addition to 275 receiving yards as well as 3 touchdowns. They'll actually give Hines the first down on that run. Looked like he was down at the 46, but he was in fact down at the 47. It'll be first and 10 for Rocky Mount, knocking on the door of Knights territory. Jones moves under center with Hines, his lone man, in the backfield. Takes the snap and hands this one off to Hines. Hines is dragging a couple Knight defenders, brought down at the 46-yard line. That'll bring up second and about 3.5 yards for the Griffons. Gain of about 7 for Hines. Nine minutes to go in the first period of play, as you might have heard over the loudspeaker. The scoreboard here at Rocky Mount High School is broke, so bear with us as far as timing tonight. Jones hand this one off to number 7, Miles Powell. Powell is able to gain around 1 yard, nothing more. Powell went into last week with 210 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Powell picked up some nice runs last week as well against the Firebirds. Bring up third down and about 2.5 yards here for the Griffons. Ball placed just shy of the 45-yard line. Rocky Mount does most of their work under center, and they run the ball a lot. Jones is a talented quarterback, but they let Hines do most of the heavy lifting on offense. Jones puts a man in motion and snaps this one over to Hines. Hines gets to the outside 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5 end zone touchdown. Hines puts the Griffons up 13-0 with over 8 minutes remaining in the first period of play. Not the start you need if you're Northern Nash, getting behind early, but a perfect start for the Griffons. Head coach Jason Battle will send out Andrew Rollins to kick the extra point once again. Jason Battle is in his 9th season as the head coach at Rocky Mount High. He's had an established career. He won the 2015 Class 3A state championship, went back and lost to South Point High School in the 2016 championship. Over 9 years, he's totaled a 79-32 overall record with the Griffons. Rollins' kick is up, and it's good. And with over 8 minutes remaining here in the first period of play, your score, Rocky Mount 14, Northern Nash 0. We'll be right back after this short break here on the Tar River Sports Network. Like we said, I'm Chance Puckett. This is Jordan Hilliard. We thank you for joining us tonight. We are back here on the Tar River Sports Network. Rocky Mount leading the Northern Nash Knights 14-0 with 7:59 remaining in the first period of play. Rollins set to kick off once again. He's had a busy night early. Nice boot here. Freeman will field this one at the 5-yard line, and he'll peel off to his left. He's able to elude one tackler, but not going to do much more than that. He's tackled at about the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Northern. Nice offense has already turned the ball over twice in less than 4 minutes. That's been a theme for the Gryphon defense thus far. They've won the turnover battle in every game that they've won, with the exception of last week at Southern Nash, where each team turned the ball over 4 times. When you do win the turnover battle, you expect to win. And Gryphon's doing a good job of maintaining that momentum early. King hands this one off to Simpson. He picks up about a yard. It'll be 2nd and around 9 yards. Jordan, when you're having to play from behind after getting behind early, what's your mentality as an offensive player?
You have to turn it. You have to turn the aggressiveness up a lot more. Be very disciplined, because small mistakes can affect you in the long run, as we've seen in the past few weeks.
Absolutely. You can't dig yourself a hole, and Northern has already done that. But the Knights still have a lot of time left to try and even things up. King will hand this one off to Simpson. Defensive line overruns him a little bit. Simpson is finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 3 yards for the Northern Nash Knights. Possibility for Northern could be a little rust. Like we said, Northern didn't play last week due to a COVID pause. Finally swung back into practice and getting things back to normal earlier this week. Just the circumstances of the season, if you're Northern Nash or one of the teams around the Big East, or even the state of North Carolina, the nation even. Not everybody's playing a spring season, but those that are all having to deal with something similar to this. King hands this one off to Simpson. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 4th down for Northern Nash, and it looks like the Knights will call their punt team onto the field. For the first time tonight, Northern doesn't turn the ball over, but it ends in a punt as Northern Nash head coach Andrew Ferris will trot out senior Paul Powell to handle the punting duties for the Knights. Coach Ferris is in his 3rd year at the helm of as head coach at Northern Nash. He has a 15-13 overall record. Knights landed in the playoffs for the first time under Ferris last season, hoping to do that again. Knights need a win tonight and need some other blocks to fall into place if they hope to land in the playoffs starting next week. Good snap, good hold. Powell boots this one off. Takes his first bounce at the 50-yard line and takes a good bounce for Northern. Ball is finally down by number 7, Randall King, at the 39-yard line. That's where the Griffons will take over. 1st and 10. This brief break is brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your local Canon authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. Once again, we thank you for joining us tonight on the Tar River Sports Network, brought to you by the Nash County Farmers Market. Your Griffons are currently leading the Northern Nash Knights 14-0 here early in the first quarter. Quick start for Rocky Mount. They look to add to their lead here. Jones will operate under center with Hines the lone back in the backfield. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Jones takes the snaps and hands it to Hines. Gain of about a yard on the play, nothing more. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Rocky Mount Griffons. The Griffons are 5-1 on the season and have yet to lose a game within the Big East yet. Their lone loss on the season came at the hands of 4A Roseville. They were trounced 42-7 here at Gryphon Stadium in their final non-conference game of the season. Check that. That was actually Miles Powell on the carry for the Griffons. It's 2nd and about 9 yards here for Rocky Mount. Jones under center. Pitches this one out to Powell. Powell tries to get outside, but he's brought down by a couple Knights. Brian Carter got there first, and safety Keno Jones got there second. For the first time tonight, Northern has a big play on defense. It'll be third and about 9 yards after that loss of about a yard. Northern desperately needs to stop here. You can't win a game in the first quarter, but you can certainly lose one in the first quarter. And Northern is in the danger zone of getting behind early. A lead that might be, or a deficit rather, that might be too big to come back on. 3rd and 9 yards for the Griffons. Jones will operate under center once again. This time Powell lined up at back on the right side with Hines lined up deep. Jones will hand this one off to Hines up the middle. Hines is driving, brought down at the 45-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and about 4 yards. Jordan, if you're Coach Jason Battle and the Rocky Mount Griffons, do you go for this here?
I think right here you would look for them to go for it because they've been getting on the average about 3 to 4 yards per play, and that's typically what you would want each play.
Absolutely. For the first time tonight, the Rocky Mount Griffons will line up in the shotgun. Powell's lined up off of Jones's left hip. Jones looks to his right side, has a man wide open. Northern got a little lost in coverage. That's number 21, Celio Alphonse. He's still on his feet. He's finally brought down inside the 35-yard line. Not what you need there if you're Northern. 4th down with the chance to kind of flip some momentum, and the Griffons are able to pick up a big first down. First down for Rocky Mount with the ball at the 35-yard line. First down for Rocky Mount here. Griffon's able to pick up the 4th down conversion. They will go back under center here, this time with 2 backs lined up deep. Jones will hand this one off to the left side. That's number 17, Elijah Battle on the carry. Battle picks up about 3 yards before he's finally brought down. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Griffons continuing to push the ball deeper into Northern Nash territory. They'll mark that one at the 31-yard line. Griffons got a chance to go up 3 scores still early in the first period of play. Second and 6 yards here for Rocky Mount. Jones lined up under center. He pitches this one to Hines. Hines has some room out to the right side of the field. He's finally brought down at about the 28-yard line. Had some room off there to the outside, but that'll bring up 3rd down for this for the Gryphon offense. 3rd and about 3.5, 4 yards. Another short yardage situation here on 3rd down for the Griffons. Jones under center once again with Hines, the lone deep back. Has 2 backs lined up at the wing back position. Battle on the far side, Powell on the near side. Jones puts a man in motion and flips it to him. There is a flag that looks to be a false start against the Rocky Mount Griffons. Little early action there by the Griffons. That'll make it 3rd and about 8 yards. Couldn't ask for much more than that if you are Northern Nash. Desperately needing a stop here is the Knights. Northern trying to flip some momentum after a very slow start. Like we said, perhaps that could be chalked up to a little rust. The Knights didn't play last week. Their last game was the 39-12 win on senior night over the Franklinton Red Rams. 3rd and around 8 yards here. Jones will keep this one. He's tackled from behind. Trey Glover got there first. Couple Knight defenders get there. Jones is able to pick up around 2, but that will stay 4th down. Can't imagine a world where Battle doesn't go for this one. Looks to be a little out of field goal range. Rollins is a great kicker, but I think it's a little early to be trying to kick some nearly 50-yard field goals if you're the Rocky Mount Griffons. Battle and his offensive group look to be wanting to go for this one. Battle might be looking to call a timeout, and that's what he will do. This timeout is brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your local Canon authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. Jordan, you've played against the Griffons 3 times in your varsity career. Lots of fun Northern Rocky Mount rivalry games. You've seen this offense and what Coach Battle tries to do with his guys. What do you think they do here on this 4th and 6 situation?
Right here, I'd probably look for them to pass the ball again, being that in the last time they went for it, they had a receiver wide open and was able to get the first down.
Absolutely. It looked like Northern had a couple guys get lost in coverage over on that right side of the field. There on that last 4th down attempt. This one is a little longer, though. Nice defense, like we said, desperately needs to stop. This one is a risk of getting out of hand as early as the first quarter. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Griffons have it 4th and about 7 yards from their own 31-yard line. Jones in the gun. He will pass. Looks to number 21, Alphonse. Alphonse has already made one big catch. He high points the football well there and catches it. Griffons will have it 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Solid defensive effort there by Northern, but just a heck of a catch by Alphonse. Can't ask for much more from your defense there than what Northern's back end had, but just a heck of an athletic play by Alphonse. He's just a sophomore too. He's going to be a fun player to watch for Gryphon fans in the near future.
And the night on coverage there was a freshman, so we both have some young players here that's going to be going head-to-head for a few years.
Absolutely. The future of football in Nash County looks very bright, especially within these two programs. Jones will hand this one off to Hines out the middle. He's stuffed. Doesn't look like any gain on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and goal. Ball placed at about the 9-yard line for the Rocky Mount offense. Griffons trying to make it 21-0 here in the first quarter.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first period. The Rocky Mount are 14-0.
Check that. I had the time wrong just a minute ago. That brings us to the end of the first quarter with your score: Rocky Mount 14, Northern Nash 0. We thank you for joining us on the Tar River Sports Network. We'll be back in just a minute for more Nash County football action.
We greatly appreciate you participating in the total rule. And Jones brings up the Gryphon for 2nd and goal.
Start of the second quarter here at Gryphon Stadium with the Griffons knocking on the door, already up 14-0 on your Northern Nash Knights. Powell takes this one. He gains about 4 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and goal for Rocky Mount. If you're just joining us, the storyline in the first quarter was turnovers for Northern Nash. The Knights threw a pick 6, and Ingle King fumbled dropping back, allowing for Rocky Mount to get ahead 14-0. Knights punted on their third possession within the first quarter, but the Griffons are driving deep. 3rd and goal with the ball at the 5-yard line. Griffons knocking on the door. Jones under center with Hines lined up deep. Jones hands this one to Hines, and he gets in easily. That'll put Rocky Mount up 20-0 early in the second period of play. Battle will trot out kicker Andrew Rollins to try and make it 21-0. McKinley Hines to hold. Good snap, good hold. Rollins gets that one up, and it's good. Griffons build their lead up to 21-0 over the Northern Nash Knights early in the second period of play. Not the start you need if you're Northern Nash. Knights are going to have to play from behind. 11 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the second period of play. Griffons building what could possibly be an insurmountable lead if the Knights don't get going. Rocky Mount has scored on all 3 of their offensive possessions, and Northern Nash has come up empty on all 3 of theirs. Not the start you need if you're Northern Nash Knights. Like we said, Jordan, earlier, what have you got to do to keep try and flip some momentum when you're playing from behind like this?
Have to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to realize you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for the person beside you. You have to play together as a team. Football is a team sport, and without a team, you will fall short.
Absolutely. This one is a huge one for the Knights. If Northern wants to keep their playoff hopes alive, they need to win this one tonight over the arch-rival Griffons. Rollins boots this one. It's a good one once again. Freeman will field it inside the 10-yard line. He gets to the 20, cuts back to his right side to the 30. He'll finally be brought down at about the 32.5, 33-yard line. Northern will take over 1st and 10 at about the 32-yard line. We've talked about Gryphon head coach Jason Battle. He's a Rocky Mount alum and is undefeated as the head coach against the Knights. He's 8-0 as the head coach of the Griffons while at Rocky Mount. He took over in April of 2012 and has been the head man at Rocky Mount ever since. Northern draws the Gryphon defensive line offsides once again. That'll make things a bit more manageable. It'll be 1st and 10 for Northern Nash. 1st and 5, rather, for Northern Nash. Ball placed at the 38-yard line. Knights getting a little closer to Gryphon territory. They were able to creep in to the Gryphon side of the field on their second drive, but it ended with the fumble. King hand this one off to Simpson, who shows some nice speed, getting all the way to the 42-yard line after cutting back to the right side. Simpson has been a huge piece of the Knights offense so far. He's shown some quick, elusive speed, makes as good as cuts as any back as you'll ever see at the high school level. He's a talented running back and is a special player for sure on this Knights offense. 1st and 10 for Northern, ball on the 42-yard line. Northern offense has to get this one in the end zone or at least ball through the uprights here. King in the gun with Simpson lined up to his right. Runs a check with me with offensive coordinator Cameron Avery. He'll move Simpson over to his left side. He'll keep this one. Throws this one to Sincere Battle in the flat. Battle has some trouble fielding that one. Pass is ruled incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. That one's ruled incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Battle's had a big last couple weeks. He started the season kind of quietly, but has really emerged as one of the top offensive players over the last couple of games. Had a phenomenal game a couple weeks ago against Southern Nash, and King will go to number 11, Demarius Clark here. Clark picks up about 8 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and about 2. Third down here for Northern. Knights desperately need to pick up a 1st down, but this is 4-down territory. Can't imagine a world where the Knights punt or try and kick a field goal if they don't pick this one up. Be third and about 2.5, 3 yards for Northern. Ingle King in the gun once again, and he will draw the Griffons off sides. That'll make it 1st and 10 for Northern. The Knights coaching staff will certainly take that one, and if you're a Knight fan, you should too. Northern taking anything they can get here against the Rocky Mount Griffons, who are off to a lightning-fast start. That'll move Northern inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 29.5. Northern looking to put some points on the board for the first time all evening. Ingle King in the gun with Simpson off his left hip. He takes the snap and hands this one off to Simpson. Simpson tries to cut back to his right. He picks up around 3. There is a flag. That looks like it's holding. Ashton Rhodes might have gotten a little too much jersey there, attempting to hold down the fort on offense. That is the call, and that'll move the Knights back 10 yards. Knights shooting themselves in the foot after the Griffons helped them out a bit.
Like we talked about previously, you have to work on your discipline because that will hurt you later on in the game.
Absolutely. Discipline and emotional rivalry games like this, as well as a game that has a chance to land your squad in the playoffs. It's always running high. Northern's got to keep that in check here, especially after falling behind early. Ingle King in the gun with Simpson lined up off his right hip. Knights likely to go into the air here. Ingle King will actually hand this one off to Simpson, who finds a hole. He picks up about 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and around 15 yards. Northern looking to establish the run a little more on this drive than they have before. Knights went through the air early on, a little too aggressive early on, but fortune favors the bold. You can't hit the ball if you don't swing. Northern trying to do as much as they can to build an early lead, but in fact fell behind. Now having to play from 21 down against this talented Griffon squad. As we said, Rocky Mount has already clinched the Big East Championship and has landed in the 3A playoffs that'll begin next week. Northern still trying to punch their ticket. Ingle King throws this one to Freeman, who breaks his tackle. He's to the 20-15. He's finally pushed out at about the 12-yard line. That will be enough to pick up a first down. Northern will have it 1st and 10 at about the 12-yard line. Nice little scamper there by Freeman after catching the ball in the flat. Exactly what Northern needed to pick up some momentum offensively. Knights trying to punch the ball in the end zone, put some points on the board for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 for Northern. Ingle King in the gun with Simpson lined up to his left. Ingle King tries the hard count. It's unsuccessful. He'll run with a check with me with the coaching staff. Play clock running down now at almost 5 seconds. Ingle King hands this one off to Simpson. Cuts back a couple times. Simpson is brought down at about the 1-yard line. There is a flag. Look like it's either going to be a face mask or a horse collar against the Griffons. That'll make it 1st and goal for Northern.
I would expect Northern to come out in the heavy lineup.
Horse collar is the call against the Gryphon defense. That'll make it 1st and goal. Northern looks to be sending their heavy brigade out there. When Northern runs this, they send duo of sophomore linebackers Trey Glover and Carson Jenkins out onto the field just to try and plunge the ball into the end zone. That's what it looks like they've done. Donovan Simpson is the deep back. Ingle King under center. You won't see him do that much tonight except in these short yardage and goal situations. Ingle King hands it off to Simpson, and they score for the first time tonight. Northern Nash is on the board. Your score 21-6, as you can see on our Girls Around Here scoreboard. Girls Around Here, discover your new favorite pieces of clothing for women and men from Girls Around Here, located at 6163 Main Street in Bailey, or online at girlsaroundhere.com. Ferris will send sophomore kicker Bryson Jenkins out to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Jenkins' kick is up. It looks good, and it is. Your score now in the second quarter, 21-7, Rocky Mount over Northern. We're going to take a quick break here on the Tar River Sports Network. I'm Chance Puckett, and this is Jordan Hilliard. Thank you for joining us for tonight's rivalry contest. Welcome back to Gryphon Stadium for tonight's contest between Northern Nash and Rocky Mount on the Tar River Sports Network. Northern Nash just punched it in the end zone for the first time tonight. Paul Paddle boots this one off. That looks like number 5, Cameron Jones, to return. Jones has some open field on the right side. He's brought down just past the 40-yard line by Trey Glover and Demarius Clark. Glover struggles getting up, but he does eventually pop to his feet. Rocky Mount will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Northern defense desperately needs a stop here. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining in this one. First and 10 for the Griffons from their own 43-yard line. Knights desperately in need of a defensive stop. Griffons trying to expand their lead back to 21 points. Jones under center. He'll pitch this one off to Hines. A whistle before the play, and it'll be timeout against the Knights defense. This timeout is brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your local Canon authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. We'd like to thank our primary sponsor tonight, which is the Nash County Farmers Market, now open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 1006 Peachtree Street in the Rocky Mount Historic District, featuring locally grown products from fruits and vegetables to pasture-raised meat and eggs, locally caught seafood, baked goods, vegetable and ornamental plants, specialty food items, homemade soup, and handcrafted art. We're thankful for all our sponsors here with the Tar River Sports Network, as well as your support throughout the course of this spring football season. Very fortunate to be bringing you tonight's contest from Rocky Mount High School. Didn't know if we'd be playing a football season at all this year, but it is nice. It is nice to be back under the Friday night lights, even if it's during the spring. A little bit unexpected, but it is nice to be back under the Friday night lights, even at Rocky Mount High School. Jones under center has 2 deep backs. He'll hand this one off up the middle. That's Hines. Hines is brought down at about the 47-yard line. Check that. That was actually Miles Powell. That'll be right there at the first down marker. Going to be close. Looks like they will give him a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 Griffons with the ball on the Northern 47. Rocky Mount having broke into Knights territory.
Looks like the freshman Connor Baker checks in for Brian Carter.
Baker's a member of this young Knight linebacking core. They've been fun to watch all season for Northern. Jones under center. He hands this one off to Hines. Hines gets right through the middle, and he's finally brought down at about the 33-yard line, where it'll bring up 1st and 10. Rocky Mount having absolutely no trouble moving the ball against this Northern Nash defense. Knights, quite frankly, look a little unprepared, a little rusty, just don't look like they're all there. 1st and 10 here for the Griffons from the Knight 34-yard line. Jones will move back under center with 2 backs in the backfield once again. Once again, the Gryphon offensive line getting a solid push. This one's handed off to Battle. Battle picks up about 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 6 for Rocky Mount. Ball will be placed at their own 30-yard line. We'll say it is an absolutely picture-perfect night here for football at Gryphon Stadium. Temperatures in the low 80s, high 70s. Not your typical football weather, but it is, especially this late in the season, but it is an absolutely gorgeous night here at Gryphon Stadium. We're hoping the rain does stay away from us in what's the final regular season contest for these 2 rival schools. Jones under center hands it off to Hines. Hines is met at the line of scrimmage by a couple Knights. He is able to pick up about 1.5 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down for Rocky Mount.
As you were saying, it is a nice day out. Usually when we play, in the past when I played Rocky Mount, it had been extremely cold.
Absolutely. It was cold last year when these 2 teams met up on November 8th, 2019. Rocky Mount left Northern Nash frustrated with a 37-15 loss on what was senior night for Northern Nash last season. As traditional, these two teams always play their final game of the regular season against one another. Jones puts a man in motion, then pitches it out to Hines. Hines is stopped in the backfield by a couple different Knights. That'll bring up 4th down in about 6 yards. Huge play there. It was sophomore Trey Glover who busted through the hole and got there first. Him and Carson Jenkins were the two linebackers to get there early. Jenkins and Glover are both sophomores. Been really fun to watch this year. Northern defense needs a stop here. 4th down with ball in Northern Nash territory.
Stop here would be very crucial. It is a chance for them to get back into the game and take control over this game.
Absolutely. Knights don't want to get behind too far. Rocky Mount might go back to the air here. They've had some success throwing the ball on 4th down. That's exactly what they'll do. Jones looks to his right, has a man open. Alphonse is open once again. He's forced out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Jones able to get behind. Trey Battle there. Battle in coverage. Jaden Freeman was a little late in zone coverage getting there. It'll be 1st and goal for the Griffons. Ball placed on the Northern Nash 3. Knights defense cannot get off the field for the life of them. Griffons threatening to punch it in the end zone once again. Another flag. Looks to be a little early movement by the Griffons. That's exactly what it is. That'll make it 1st and goal from the 8. After a big play like that, Jordan, what do you have to do to kind of regain some momentum, regain some composure, and make sure that you don't allow the opponent to punch the ball in the end zone?
Take it play-by-play. Everybody on that field, on the defensive side, has a responsibility. If everybody take care of their responsibility, then you will have a good outcome.
Absolutely. Knights need a stop here, at least preventing the Griffons from getting into the end zone if they decide to kick a field goal at least. Jones will go back under center. Hines is the lone back in the backfield. Puts a man in motion and he'll hand it off to him. That looks like Miles Powell. Powell's able to gain a couple. Ball might have popped out. Northern says they have it. No signal from the officials, and finally a signal. Northern recovers the fumble. What a break for the Northern Nash Knights. Deep in their own territory, Northern recovers the fumble. What a chance for the Knights. One Northern defender does get up slow, but does end up getting off under his own power. That's number 79, Chris Manning, but a fumble will result in a turnover. Northern inching closer to an equal turnover deficit. Knights will take over 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. What a break there for Northern. This one was in danger of getting out of hand.
So now, if you're Northern, you're hoping to take this turnover here and have some more momentum and trying to get a score right here before halftime.
We'd like to keep in mind Northern opened up with the ball, so Rocky Mount would get the ball coming out of halftime.
Absolutely. Ingle King hands this one off to Simpson. Nice run by Simpson. He gets to the 20-yard line, gain of about 13. That's a 1st down for the Knights. Knights doing a good job of trying to capitalize here. Still got a long ways to go, but solid first play to get out of the shadows of their own goalpost.
Right
1st and 10 from the 19.
Right here, I'll be looking for a little bit more up-tempo plays and a little bit more aggressive, trying to wear the Griffins defense out.
Absolutely. Knights have tried to establish the run on their last drive, and it worked. Simpson takes the handoff. He'll get about a yard, but nothing more. That'll bring up 2nd and 9. Northern had some success on their last drive throwing the ball, or check that, running the ball. Kind of struggled earlier when they were trying to throw. We've got 3:20 remaining in the first half as well as the second quarter. Northern needs to put some points on the end zone. Rocky Mount gets the ball to start the second half. Knights don't need to fall behind too much here. Ingle King in the gun with Simpson off his left hip. Takes the snaps and they'll throw. Looks to his left but looks back over to his right. That's Xavier Whitaker on a slant route. Whitaker stays on his feet. He's finally brought down at the 39. For the first time tonight, Northern has some real success moving the ball through the air. There'll be 1st and 10. Ball's placed at the 40. Knights picking up some momentum on offense. Here's to hoping they can keep it up. Northern looks to be hurrying things up, trying to beat the clock here, but not wanting to leave too much time that the Griffons can score.
Northern does not look like they're in a hurry here. I mean, if I was them, I'd be running 2-minute offense.
Knights desperately need points on this drive. What looked to be a no huddle but don't seem to be moving in any hurry. They'll hand this one off to Simpson. Simpson gains about 2.5, 3 yards. That'll make it 2nd and about 7 for the Knights. In these late half situations, what do you do from an offensive standpoint, Jordan? You're obviously getting pretty tired. It's hot out there. What do you do to make sure you punch the ball in the end zone before the clock hits 0?
I can't stress it enough. I've been saying it throughout the whole game, but aggressiveness and discipline. You have to be aggressive. No matter how you're feeling right now, you have to realize that you have to be aggressive, and you're not just playing for yourself.
Northern offensive line has some trouble blocking the Gryphon defenders. Not sure what happened there. King looked like he tried to flick it, but I think he was ruled down. All in all, senior Jordan Wooten comes up with the ball. He's number 58 right here facing the screen. That'll bring up 3rd and about 15 yards for Northern. Pocket just broke down on that one. 3rd and about 15 yards for Northern. Knights with trips out to the left side, and Xavier Whitaker lined up wide on the far side. 3rd and 15 from the 35-yard line. Northern still got a long ways to go if they want to try and score. King will look to pass. Ball's a bit overthrown, but Simpson's able to stay on his feet and come down with it. Gain of about 8 yards there. Timeout Northern on what will be 4th and about 7 yards. This timeout is brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your located authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. We'd also like to thank our primary sponsor, the Nash County Farmers Market, which is open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 1006 Peachtree Street in the Rocky Mount Historic District. We've got a 4th down situation for the Knights. Not too sure how much time is left here in the first half, but we're coming to a close here in the second quarter. Northern desperately needs to put up some points. The Griffons do get the ball to start the second half. Griffon's going to have all the momentum after forcing a couple turnovers early. Knights need to tighten this one up, get it down to a 7-point deficit, or they're at risk of this one getting out of hand. The Griffons' offense is talented. It does look like the Knights will punt. I'm not sure why the Knights called a timeout if their plan was to punt to give the Griffons more time. Interested to see what the Knights coaching staff was thinking there. Gut feeling must have been that they were going to go for it but changed their mind. Griffons will call a timeout here. Kind of recollect things. I don't think Jason Battle and company were planning on Northern punting. Be interested to see if Northern still plans on punting. We'll be interested to see if Northern still plans on punting or if they'll run a fake. We are in between the 40s. They always say when you're in between the 40s to look out for a fake punt. Wouldn't be surprised if Northern tried to do that here. King does line up in the backfield on punts. He is the Knights quarterback. Wouldn't be shocking to see the Knights try some trickery there to pick up some momentum.
Based on switch up the game plan here and bring out the offense.
Absolutely. Based on the personnel they're trotting onto the field, it does look like Northern is sending their offense out onto the field late in the second quarter. Down 21-7, as you can see on our Girls Round Here scoreboard. The Knights will go for this one. 4th and 7 here late in the first half. Knights desperately need to convert. King will line up in the gun with Simpson to his right. King tries to draw the Griffons' defensive line off sides, and Northern will be forced into a timeout once again. That's another timeout brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your local Canton authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. Northern will send the punt team out. Looks like they were just trying to draw the Griffons offsides with the hard count. Knights going to play it conservatively. Senior Paul Powell will handle the punting duties for the Knights. Squirrely snap, but the holding kick is good. This one's fielded by Battle at about the 20-yard line. Battle has some open field. He's finally brought down at the 30-yard line. There is a flag. Not too sure what that's going to be. Was thrown about where Jenkins hit the ball carrier, but I can't imagine that flag is on Jenkins.
55 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 55 seconds left in the first half.
You couldn't hear PA announcer here at Gryphon Stadium. There are 55 seconds remaining.
Block in the back.
That'll be a block in the back against the Griffons. It'll back Rocky Mount a little bit more. Make things a bit more difficult for the Griffons. If you're Rocky Mount, are you trying to gain some yards, possibly put up some points, or do you just run the clock out content with your 2-touchdown lead, as well as getting the ball to start the second half?
I think right here they would be a little bit more conservative and just run the clock out and just get the ball coming out of half.
Can't blame them for that one. Up 14, getting the ball to start the second. I can't imagine Battle is going to be too aggressive there. Wants to maintain his lead. Griffons will have it 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line, less than a minute remaining in the first half. Jones will line up under center. It looks like Powell is in the backfield. Jones puts a man in motion. He will actually throw, has a man open down the sideline, but it's nearly intercepted by Jaden Freeman. Ball was a little underthrown, intended for McKinley Hines. Freeman nearly intercepted that one. That could have been a huge shift in momentum, giving the Knights a chance inside the 40-yard line, but it's unable to come up with the ball. 48 seconds remaining. Northern Nash unable to take advantage of a huge opportunity there. Second and 10 for the Griffons. Getting a little aggressive there. Expect for them to go back into some conservative play here. They'll hand this one off up the middle. No gain on the play, and that's exactly what Rocky Mount will do. They'll likely run the clock out on the first half after their next play. That was McKinley Hines on the carry. Time ticking down on the first half. Griffons look to be content with running the clock out and heading to the locker rooms with a 14-point advantage, as well as getting the ball to start the second half. Griffons will be forced into taking a snap due to the play clock. Or actually, no, they won't. That will bring us to the end of the first half with your score. Rocky Mount 21, Northern Nash 7. Once again, we thank you for joining us on the Tar River Sports Network. My name's Chance Puckett, alongside broadcast partner Jordan Hilliard. Stick with us for the second half. Should be a fun one here at Gryphon Stadium.
second half, ladies and gentlemen. The Knights will be kicking off to the Griffons. Again, the Knights will be kicking off to the Griffons with number 80, Paul Powell, kicking off for the Knights.
Welcome back to Gryphon Stadium here at Rocky Mount High School. If you're just joining us, the Griffons currently hold a 21-7 lead over Northern. Knights turned it over a couple too many times in the first half, leading to points for the Griffons early in the first quarter. Knights did pick it up later in the second half, in the first half rather, was able to punch it in the end zone. Currently making it 21-7. The Knights will kick off to the Griffons here. As privy, Paul Powell will handle the kickoff duties for the Knights. He's a senior. Handled the kickoff duties for 2 years now at Northern. Kick is fielded at about the 12-yard line. That looks like Jones. Jones tries to cut back, but he's brought down at about the 27-yard line. That's where the Gryphon offense will take over 1st and 10. After scoring touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, the Gryphon offense slowed it down a bit a little later. They fumbled inside the 10-yard line on their next possession and then chose to run the clock out in the first half on their final one. Northern desperately needs a stop here. If Northern can get a stop and try and put some points on the board in their next drive, it'd be a 1-possession game. The Knights certainly aren't out of this one, despite a lackluster performance in the first half. Jones under center, and he'll keep it on a little option. Jones is able to not quite break a tackle. Thought he was going to. Nice little shoestring tackle there by Carson Jenkins. Jones is brought down at about the 35-yard line to be second and about 2 yards for Rocky Mount. Jones was able to break off a couple nice pass plays there in the first half, particularly on 4th down. The Knights got lost in coverage a couple times on 4th in the first half. Led to a couple scoring chances by the Rocky Mount Griffons. 2nd and short here for Rocky Mount. Jones will operate under center once again. This time there's 2 deep backs. Jones hands this one off to Miles Powell on the right side. Powell picks up the first down and more. Powell brought down at about the 43. It'll be 1st and 10 for Rocky Mount. Powell's had a nice night running the ball too. First and 10 here for the Griffons. Ball on their own 44-yard line. Per usual, Jones will operate under center. Looks like Hines to be the lone back in the backfield. Jones puts a man in motion off to his left side and pitches it to Hines on the left. Doesn't have much running room, and it shows. He's tackled after a gain of about 2 yards. Maybe 3, second and around 7 yards for Rocky Mount. After showing what you saw in the first half, Jordan, how can Northern Nash's defense scheme around this tough-to-defend Rocky Mount offense?
Right here, they've been moving the ball pretty well in the running, but they've been getting their stops. Where Rocky Mount has really gotten Northern is in the pass game. The secondary has been falling asleep because Rocky Mount has been running the ball quite often.
Absolutely. Rocky Mount looks to set up the pass through the run. That time they'll run a little option. Jones pitches it to Powell. He's forced out at the Northern Nash 45. That'll be about a yard past the first down marker. Rocky Mount moves the sticks once again. 1st and 10 for the Rocky Mount Griffons. Ball placed at the Northern 45. Griffons have moved into Northern territory. Second time they've run that little option play on this drive. It's worked to perfection both times. First and 10 for Northern here. This one is handed off to Battle off the left side. Battle has some room. He's brought down at about the 37-yard line, 38 maybe. That'll bring up second around 3 yards for the Rocky Mount Griffons. Northern struggling to stop this Rocky Mount offensive attack on the ground. As Jordan said, Northern did a good job of defending the run in the first half. Got lost on a couple pass plays later on. Gryphons even posted a defensive touchdown in the first half. Jones fakes a handoff. He's going to keep it on an option once again. Nice little block there by Miles Powell. Jones is eventually forced out of bounds. Nice job there. Good angle taken by freshman Connor Baker. He's forced out of bounds. It'll be third and about 2 yards for the Gryphons, perhaps even 3rd and 1. Third and about 1.5 yards for the Gryphons. Knights in need of a stop. Jones under center, 2 backs deep. Jones will hand this one off to Powell, who has lots of room on the right side. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's finally brought down at the 19-yard line. It was Jaden Freeman that was able to get a good low angle on it. They say low man wins, and that theory was proven there by Freeman. A couple high tackle attempts there by the Knights defense allowed Powell to bounce off of the tacklers. Powell tried to make the case that his knee wasn't down, but he was in fact ruled down at the 19. That's where the Gryphons will have it 1st and 10. Rocky Mount has moved into the red zone. Chance to go up 21 points here. Hines on the carry here. That looks like Keno Jones. As a result, Hines is brought down after a loss of 1 yard. Nice tackle there by Jones. Jones has been a shining star for the Knights this season on defense. He's the backup quarterback, and he's been a phenomenal safety for Northern. He's just a sophomore on this year's team. He's listed at 6'1", 170. Going to be another fun player for Knight fans to watch in the future. Both these teams are pretty young. As we said earlier, the future of football in Nash County looks bright. Southern Nash has some talented young players like the Vick brothers. Northern has plenty of talented players, especially on defense. Rocky Mount has a couple good young guys too. Be interesting to see where the next couple of years of high school football goes of the next few seasons. This looks like Battle on the carry. Battle cuts back and gets in from 20 yards out. What a run there by Battle, totally reversing field. That puts the Gryphons up 27-7 over the Knights here in the 3rd quarter. Fantastic run there by Battle, totally reversing field. Looked like he was outside the numbers and finally crossed the goal line at nearly the right hash. Head coach Jason Battle will send out Andrew Rollins to kick the point after. Good snap, good hold. Kick is short. 27-7 Gryphons here in the 3rd quarter. Northern Nash offense going to have to put up some points here in the 2nd half if they want to stay in it. We thank you for joining us here on the Tar River Sports Network. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Gryphon Stadium. Your score, Rocky Mount 27, Northern Nash 7. Jaden Freeman on the return here for the Knights. He fields it at about the 10. Freeman has some open field, tries to cut back to the right side. He's still on his feet. He's finally forced out of bounds, shy of the 40-yard line. Looks like the ball will be placed about the 35. Northern will take over 1st and 10. Down 20, desperately in need of some points here in what is their regular season finale on the 2021 spring football season. First and 10 for the Knights here at their own 35-yard line. Ingle King in the gun. Simpson lined up to his right. Ingle King will look to throw, looks to his left initially, then looks to his right, dumps it off in the flat to Jaden Freeman. Freeman is forced out of bounds. Looked like he actually lost a couple on that one. Pocket collapsed a bit there on Thomas Ingle King. That'll bring up second down, probably second around 12. Not what you need there if you're Northern. Playing from behind like this, it can be a tendency to get a little over-aggressive almost in terms of play calls. What do you look for Northern to do here in the second half to try and make this deficit a bit more manageable?
I would look for Northern to air it out a little bit more and try to cut to the outside runs because Simpson has been doing good cutting to the outside. As we see here.
As if on cue, Simpson tiptoes down the sideline. He gets inside the 40. He's finally forced out at about the 39-yard line. Northern will have it first and 10. Jordan Hilliard with a little early call on that one, but it worked out well. Simpson's had a great year for the Knights. He's shown some of his explosive speed this evening. Northern now breaking into Gryphon territory. First and 10 from the Rocky Mount 39. Knights have had success running those outside the tackle runs. Let's see if they stick with that here. This time Simpson lines up to the left of Ingle King in the gun, trips out to the left side. He will hand it to Simpson, but Simpson cuts back inside, still on his feet. He was hit initially right as he crossed the line of scrimmage, but Simpson's still able to pick up about 7 yards. Will be an injury timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Quality Office Equipment, your local Canaan authorized dealer. Call Gus Cobb at Quality Office Equipment for all your copier needs at 252-937-4414. We're going to take a quick break here at Gryphon Stadium as a Gryphon defender is hurt. Sophomore DeAndre Lynch is the injured player for the Griffons. Each training staff out there tending to him. Lynch is a sophomore for the Griffons. He's listed at 6'3", 265 pounds. That's a big boy to be just a sophomore. Lynch is a talented basketball player as well. We talked about Northern Nash's quarterback from last season, Jay Johnson, plays for the Barton College Bulldogs. Well, Lynch's older brother, who was the Griffons quarterback last year, also plays for the Barton Bulldogs. Lynch is a Gryphon and was a very talented quarterback here at Rocky Mount. He'll have a bright career ahead of him over at Barton College. He took over the starting quarterback duties for the Bulldogs not too long ago, and he's had a great year thus far over in Wilson with the Bulldogs. Fortunately, Lynch is able to make his way off the field with the help of some of the Gryphon training staff. Ingle King in the gun. Pass was whistled dead. Not sure what for yet. Not sure if everybody was set and ready to go. It'll remain second and about 4 yards for the Knights. Second around 4 yards for Northern, down 27-7 here in the third quarter. Ingle King in the gun, hands it off to Dion Battle. This is Battle's first carry of the evening. Battle picks up about 8 yards. Battle is a 5'10", 200-pound junior who runs as hard as any back as you'll see at the high school level. He's had a couple great games this year, highlighted by the Knights' win over Southern. Both running backs, Deshaun Richardson and Donovan Simpson were injured, and it was Battle who handled much of the heavy lifting that evening in a huge Northern Nash win over the Firebirds. 1st and 10 here for Northern. Ingle King in the gun with Battle lined up off his left hip. Battle will get the carry once again. He'll cut back to his left. Battle lowers his shoulder and runs through somebody. Gain of about 9 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and about a half yard. Nice run there by Battle. Would have liked to have seen him possibly in here a little bit earlier.
Definitely. I'm surprised that this is his first few carries being so late in the game.
Nice need about a half yard to pick up the first down. Ingle King will be in the gun. Knights knocking on the door. Ingle King looks to draw the Griffons offside with the hard count, but he is unsuccessful. He'll run a check with me with Cam Avery, the Knights offensive coordinator. Ingle King will look to throw, looks to his left side. Fade route in the corner of the end zone. Jaden Freeman was the intended receiver. There is a flag. Defender didn't get turned around. I believe that's going to be DPI against the Griffons. That looked like the right call to me. Gryphon defender might have gotten there just a little bit early. That'll put Northern in prime positioning to score. Northern picking up some momentum here. It'll be 1st and goal for Northern.
First and goal for the Knights, the 9-yard line.
Ball's placed at the 9-yard line. Ingle King in the gun. Battle lined up off his right hip. He'll hand it to Battle. Battle stopped at the line of scrimmage, but is able to pick up about a yard after bouncing off the line.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd goal now for the Knights.
2nd goal for Northern. Referees said that that Battle was able to pick up about a yard there.
5:15 left in the 3rd period.
5:15 remaining in the 3rd period of play. Northern trailing 27-7 against the Griffons. A quarterback change here with Keno Jones in the gun. Looks to be a little wildcat. Jones will take it off to his left side. Play is unsuccessful. We mentioned Jones's name a minute ago. Jones is likely going to be the starter for the Knights next season. He'll be a junior come the fall of 2021. Going to be a player to watch for Knight fans in the future. As for right now, Northern has it 3rd and goal, desperately in need of a score. Got to believe this is 4-down territory while down 20 and less, just about 15 minutes total remaining in this game. Jones will stay in at quarterback. He will actually look to throw. Looks to throw this one to Thomas Ingle King. Pass is ruled incomplete. Gryphon defender might have gotten away with a little early coverage there.
It looked like a little bit too much contact on that coverage right there.
Ingle King, the traditional quarterback, was the intended receiver.
4th and goal, ladies and gentlemen. 4th and goal.
4th and goal for Northern. No point in trying to kick this field goal. The Knights are down 3 possessions. No point in kicking a field goal to make a 3-possession game, Ingle King throws it into the end zone, and it's intercepted. Xavier Whitaker fell down in the end zone, and the Gryphon defender is tackled at about the 25-yard line. That's where Rocky Mount will take over 1st and 10. Rocky Mount offense will come back onto the field with a chance to possibly put the finishing touches on this one. Griffons will get the ball back on the interception. Even if that one would have hit the turf, Griffons would have taken over. Rocky Mount will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Now number 2, Stephen Jones brings up the Griffons 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
Jones under center. He actually looks to pass. He'll roll to his right. Has a man open, and it's caught. That is Alphonse. He scores on a 75-yard touchdown pass. Play one from Stephon Jones, and if Northern can't pick it up offensively, that might be all she wrote for the 2021 spring season for the Northern Nash Knights. 33-7 in favor of the Griffons. Andrew Rollins out for the extra point attempt. Little miscommunication amongst the Griffons. Looked like they only had 10 men out there. Good snap, good hold, kick is good. Rollins' kick is good, and in the third quarter, your score, Rocky Mount 34, Northern Nash 7. We're going to take a quick break. We thank you for joining us on the Tar River Sports Network. Rollins to kick off to Jaden Freeman here with the Griffons leading Northern 34-7.
34-7 your score here. Northern trailing. Freeman get the ball at the 10.
Good kick by Rollins. Freeman returns it at the 10. He'll take it down the right side of the field. He's eventually forced out of bounds at about the 33. First and 10 for the Knights. Ball going to be placed at about the 33-yard line. Just hasn't been the Knights' night. Ingle King has thrown 2 interceptions. The Knights have fumbled. Just not what you've traditionally seen from Northern's offense this year. After a slow start and a 7-0 win over Southwest Edgecombe to start the year, Knights' offense has progressively gotten better, especially through the air. Not how you want the season to come to an end tonight. Ingle King hands this one off to Simpson, who takes it up the middle. He's hit hard, but not after a gain of about 13. Northern will have it first and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Getting close to the 3-minute mark here in the third period of play. First and 10 for the Knights here on their own 45-yard line. Ingle King in the gun, fakes the handoff. He's brought down in the backfield, does throw it. That's actually caught by Battle. I'm not really sure how that happened. Ingle King just flew that one out there, and Battle was able to make the catch. That'll be enough for a first down. Northern moves the sticks, and will have it first and 10 on the Gryphon 44. What an insane catch there by Sincere Battle. Ingle King will throw this one to Simpson in the flat. A lot of open field there on the left side. Ingle King take that. Simpson cuts back. Simpson gets tripped up. He falls down at the 25-yard line. Nice game for the Knights, though. That'll move the sticks once again. Knights definitely showing some urgency, down 27 here Storms approaching late in the third quarter.
We've had some light
The 25-yard line.
cloud light.
2:20 left
We got to get
in
in the third quarter.
third quarter. 2:20 left in the third quarter.
2:20 left in the third period of play. Northern with the ball at the Gryphon 25, 1st and 10. King in the gun with Simpson off to his left. Trips out to the right side. He'll hand it off to Simpson. Simpson has a lot of open field. Nice block by Jordan Wooten. Simpson's able to pick up about 10 yards. Going to be really close to the first down marker. Knights have moved the ball inside the red zone. Think they're going to mark him just short. Check that. They will move it. It'll be 1st and 10 for Northern at the 15-yard line. Northern's offense moving the ball well, but is it a little bit too little too late?
And that run there by Simpson is enough for a Northern first down.
This time, Battle will be in the backfield alongside King. Battle lined up off his left hip. King in the gun, hands this one off to Battle. Battle gets out to the right side, has some open field. Battle gets close to the pylon. He's ruled out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Knights inside the 10, though. It'll be 1st and goal for Northern.
Looking for the heavy formation coming up.
Per usual, Northern looks like they're going with their heavy formation, as Mr. Hilliard just said for us. If you're just joining us, that means that Trey Glover and Carson Jenkins come onto the field for Northern. 2 sophomore linebackers who are forces on the defensive side of the ball just come in to kind of pave the road for the deep back. This time the deep back is Donovan Simpson. Simpson's handed off, and he scampers off to the left. Simpson is in. And late in the third quarter, your score, Rocky Mount 34, Northern 13.
45 seconds left in the third period.
Northern will send out Bryson Jenkins to try the point after. Jenkins is a sophomore for the Knights. High snap. King gets it down. Looks like a good kick, though. And it is. Jenkins nails it. Your score late in the third quarter. Griffons 34, Knights 14. We thank you for joining us once again on the Tar River Sports Network. We'll be right back after this break. Paul Powell to kick. He boots this one off to the right side of the field. Takes a Northern bounce. Ball is finally fielded about the 10-yard line, but a lot of open field on this side. Ball carrier brought down by Demarius Clark and Sincere Battle. Kerry Parker on the return for the Griffons. Rocky Mount will take over 1st and 10 late in the third period of play. Knights in need of a turnover here if they have any chance of turning this back into a game. First and 10 for the Griffons. Hines on the carry here, able to shake off a tackler. He's forced out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. There is a late flag thrown at the 40. It'll be holding against the Griffons. That'll back Rocky Mount up a couple yards.
Which will back up the Gryphons a little bit. We'll let the referee sort that out. We'll get play down in distance. But again, pizza is $3 a slice.
That'll make it first and about 12 yards after the spot foul.
Clock's rolling, 29 seconds.
29 seconds remaining in the third period play. Griffons have the ball 1st and 10 after a holding call. That's Powell on the carry. Powell out to the left side, able to shake off a couple of tacklers, still on his feet. Powell gains about 13 yards.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Miles Powell, he picks up big money, more than enough for his Gryphon. Touchdown!
Powell runs really hard for the Griffons. He's had a good night.
Gryphons on the move as we end the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, with your score.
That will bring us to the end of the third quarter with your score, Rocky Mount 34, Northern Nash 14. Stick with us on what could possibly be the last quarter of the Knights 2021 spring season. I'm Chance Puckett. This is Jordan Hilliard. We'll be right back on the Tar River Sports Network.
Next we have Mr. Kayla Palmer, Nyla Wynn, Kashani Johnson, Shardasia Johnson, Rose Pitt, Tynasia Moore, Brianna Phillips, Shateria Saunders, Jessica Taylor, and last but not least, Miss Morgan Woodard.
First and 10 here for the Griffons. Rocky Mount has it on their own 43. Jones will hand this one off up the middle. That's number 4, Caleb Mercer, his first carry of the evening. Mercer gains about a yard.
Also, that was number 4 on the carry, Caleb Mercer for the Griffons.
Second and about 9 yards.
Second and 9. Also, ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you need a ride, go ahead and call your ride. It's the start of the fourth quarter. Get your ride here.
Second and 9 yards for the Griffons. Jones looks to stay under center. 2 men in the backfield. Jones will hand this one off to Powell, who's brought down in the backfield. Knights defense playing with some fire here late. Know they've got to play nearly perfect this quarter if they want to keep this a game. Does look like we have an injured Gryphon. We're going to take a short break here on the Tar River Sports Network during this injury timeout. Thank you for joining us once again.
Check out 75 Degrees West, which opens April 23rd at Rocky Mount Mills. Doors open at 6:30 and the showing starts at 7:30. The film 75 Degrees West is written and produced by Thomas Parrish. 11:08, ladies and gentlemen, 11:08 left. That is the player number 7, Miles Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, you're doing a great job of giving him a hand as he eases off the field. Back to game activity, 3rd and 9 for the Griffons.
3rd and 9 for Rocky Mount. Northern desperately needs to get their defense off the field here, give their offense a chance to put some points on the board, tighten this one up a bit. Griffons will go under center. Jones hands this one off. Actually, he'll keep it. Fakes a pitch, and he's brought down. Nice job by the Northern Nash defense there. That'll bring up 4th down. Rocky Mount will send their punt team onto the field for the first time tonight. Fourth and about 9 yards for Rocky Mount. As we said, this is the first time they've sent their punt team on the field. Rollins has had a solid night on the kickoff team as well as extra points. Breeze is picking up here a bit at Gryphon Stadium. That might have a slight effect. Good snap. Rollins boots this one. And Jaden Freeman tries to field it. He's brought down inside the 30-yard line. Northern will have it 1st and 10 with just over 70 yards to go. First and 10 here for the Knights here at Gryphon Stadium. You might can see on the far side of the field some Northern fans are scrambling. Looks like there's a little bit of rain in the area. Ingle King to throw. He darts this one, and it's intercepted for the 3rd time tonight. That ball bounced off of Jaden Freeman's hands, and the ball is intercepted by the Gryphon defense. That was Cameron Jones on the interception. Rain starting to fall here at Gryphon Stadium, as you can probably see by the mass exodus of fans on each side of the field. Griffons do now have possession of the ball. 9:33 remaining in the 4th period of play. Wind is blowing forcefully here at Gryphon Stadium. Mercer on the carry here. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down. If I'm remembering correctly, the last time Northern came over here in 2018, there were some pretty bad rainstorms. I remember sitting on the visitors' side in the 2nd half. There weren't too many people over there. It was pouring raining. Me and a buddy of mine were some of the lone fans still in the bleachers watching a total rainstorm here at Gryphon Stadium.
I remember because we didn't even make it till halftime before it started raining.
Absolutely. Northern made it to halftime before the bottom fell out. Not sure if we're going to be so lucky to get this one done before the rain comes tonight. Big run there by Mercer. He gets inside the red zone. Griffons will have it 1st and 10.
And the rain has not stopped these young men from playing hard.
The American flag over on the right side of the field is belting in this wind. Gain of around 3 on the play for the Griffons. Griffons just got to tick the clock away on what will be a perfect 5-0 Big East season, 6-1 overall, and a playoff berth.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, pizza is $3 a pizza. Make sure you stop by the concession stand on your way out. Again, pizza is $3 a pizza. Make sure you call your ride home.
Hey, is there room down here for me?
Gryphon ball carrier, that's McKinley Hines, gets into the end zone. A fitting curtain call for Hines, who is a senior here on senior night.
A nice and easy 50-yard run.
That'll push this one to 40-14 Griffons. Rollins to kick for Rocky Mount. Good snap, good hold. Boot is up. That one's good. And with 7:37 remaining here in the fourth period of play, your score, Rocky Mount 41, Northern Nash 14. We thank you for joining us once again on the Tar River Sports Network. We'll be right back after this break.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, please stay off the pit, stay off the pit side, the bottom of the stadium, and please do not block any gates. And again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to call your ride home now. Please do not wait until after the game to call your ride. Call your ride right now so they can be here as the game ends. We have less than 7:40 left in the game. Rollins set to kick off. Freeman deep.
Welcome back to Gryphon Stadium. Andrew Rollins set to kick off to the Knights with 7:37 remaining in this one. Rocky Mount clinging on to a 41-14 lead over Northern. Wind is picking up down there, as you can probably see. Ball was just knocked off the tee, and it's getting dark over here. Little pooch kick is fielded by number 22, Sincere Battle, who reverses field, goes all the way to the far side. He's driven backwards about 5 yards. Sincere Battle escapes out of bounds at about the 41. That's where Northern will take over 1st and 10.
Knights will take over 1st and 10.
Time ticking down on the Knights season, and we're hoping to finish the rest of this one. Out there in the yellow shirt at about the 50-yard line is Mike Gainey, the athletic director for the Rocky Mount Griffons. He's closely monitoring the weather situation. Ingle King in the gun. He'll hand this one off to Donovan Simpson. He's stopped in the backfield after a loss of about 2. Nice job there by number 33, Darcevius Williams. Williams has had a huge year for the Griffons. Gainey on the field, getting the attention of the officials. Lightning in the area. We're gonna get everybody out of Gryphon Stadium here. We'll keep you updated on the Tar River Sports Network if we're gonna finish this one or not. That will bring us to the end of this ball game. Your final score, Rocky Mount Griffons 41. Check that. The referees are not. They are sending Rocky Mount to the locker room. Not sure if this one is over yet or not. We'll keep you updated on the Tar River Sports Network whenever we hear something. We thank you for joining us. My name is Chance Puckett. This is Jordan Hilliard. We'll let you know as soon as we know.
All fans, please clear the bleachers. Please clear the bleachers. We have lightning. Please clear the bleachers, ladies and gentlemen, return to your vehicles. Thank you. Please clear the stadium. Exit the stadium as quickly as possible, calmly as possible, ladies and gentlemen. We greatly appreciate your compliance for leaving the stadium. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in tonight on the Tar River Sports Network. We have decided we're going to call it quits this evening. We're not sure how much longer this rain delay is going to take. There's lightning all around us, and what's going to be the final regular season contest for each of these teams. We're going to head on out with the score at 41-14, Rocky Mount over Northern Nash. Jordan, final parting thoughts for this season?
Had highs and lows, of course, but in the lows, I feel like we need to work on the discipline part and also execution.
Absolutely. Northern certainly had some bright spots this year, beating a Southwest Edgecombe team they hadn't beaten years, beating a Southern Nash team for the first time since 2010. A lot of good things going for Northern Nash in the near and distant future. This is Chance Puckett and Jordan Hilliard signing off for the final time in the 2021 spring season on the Tar River Sports Network. Thank you for your support tonight as well as all this season. Have a great evening.